Whispers from the Crypt, Episode 10, Velvet Mouth, Ashen Soul. There are voices beneath the ribcage. Not metaphor, not madness. Actual voices. Old, crooked, half-starved and starved by design. They hum when I am still. They sing when I am empty. They laugh when I feed. When I say hunger, I do not mean want. Want is decorum. Want can be ignored, delayed, civilized. Hunger is its godless cousin, naked, snarling, wet-mouthed, eyes too wide. Hunger does not knock. Kicks in the door with blood on its tongue. The first time it spoke, I thought it was grief. I thought the shaking in my hands was fear. But no, it was delight. When the thing inside me took its first true bite, that was when I knew what I was. Or worse, what I'd always been. This was no curse, no tragic accident. This was permission. I remember the hunt, the way the night bent around me, eager, the way my bones stopped aching as I ran. The scent, like sugar rotting in a copper pot. The sound, footsteps slowing, heartbeats hitching. She turned, eyes round, animal. She knew. They always do. I told myself I'd only watch. I told myself I'd only taste the fear. But I was so hungry. Do you know how soft a neck is? How fast warmth becomes steam? How quick a scream dies under the weight of a hand? And how good it feels to stop pretending. The next day, I wept, or tried to. The tears don't come when you've sated the beast, not until you're starving again. It's a cycle. One I told myself I'd break. One I never do. I walk the cities like a sermon with teeth. I bless strangers with my silence. I pray to not be hungry. But prayers never kept wolves from doors. They just keep the doors shut until you forget how to lock them. People say you can't outrun what's inside you. I disagree. I have been running for years. The trick isn't to outrun it. The trick is to know when to let it catch up, and when to let it feed. But it doesn't just want to feed. It wants to claim. You ever feel it watching? Not with eyes. No, those are for mortals. With the space behind your ribs. That hollow, yawning place where something ancient curled up before you had words for it. You starve it to stay human. You starve it so people won't run. But the skin keeps record of your denial, and one day, it refuses to be the cage anymore. The bones ache for the crack. The teeth ache for the snap. And when the right scent hits, like rot spun in honey, like a memory of your own blood boiling under someone else's fingernails, it asks you again, may I? And this time, you whisper, yes. The hunt isn't chaos. It's worship. Every step a litany. Every breath an incantation. You follow, no, become. The trail of fear. The heartbeat of prey thuds like a drum. You don't hear it. You feel it in your teeth. You see the back of their head. You see the way they don't know they're already gone. And when the moment comes, you don't hesitate. You don't moralize. You don't weep. Because this hunger, this is the one thing that has always been honest. You think once it's done, you'll be sated. That you'll return to your bed and brush your teeth like nothing changed. But it lingers. Not the blood, not the act. The power. You're not just alive anymore. You're awake. You realize the hunger didn't ask to be born inside you. But now that it's here, it will never starve again. Because now it knows your voice. Now it's learned the cadence of your thoughts, the texture of your ache, the scent of your doubt ripening beneath resolve. Now it waits behind your mirror, in the breath between prayers, in the silence after you swallow your guilt and say, I'm fine. It does not forget. Hunger doesn't. It remembers every inch of what you denied it, every moment you swallowed your desire and smiled politely instead. It's in your throat now, when your voice shakes just before the truth falls out. It's the fire behind your ribs, the one that made you leave without packing a bag. You think you buried it, think you outgrew it, think healing meant silencing it. But healing is sometimes letting it scream. Letting it tear through the paper walls you built just to feel safe. You were not made to be good all the time. You were made to feel, to long, to crack, to howl. To admit that sometimes you want to be ruined. You want to be chosen in the most dangerous way. Not for your smile, but for your hunger. The real you. The one that wants. The one that takes. So, tell me, how long will you let the ache echo before you answer it? What will it cost you to say, I want, I need, I am starving? And who will you become when the hunger answers back? Will it sound like your own voice, made stranger by echo? Or will it be the voice of someone long gone, calling from the hollow of your ribcage? Hunger is clever. It waits until you believe you're in control, until you dress it up in beautiful names: ambition, love, loyalty, even healing. But the truth is, it has teeth, and it will gnaw its way out. It will mimic your longing so perfectly that you'll call it purpose. You'll swear it's holy, a calling, destiny. You'll tattoo it into your rituals, your writing, your lovers, your morning breath. You'll think, this is just how I am, but you didn't choose it. You inherited it. You were haunted before you even had language for it. This hunger came through the bloodline, passed in lullabies, in rules, in silence. It came through withheld affection, through trauma wrapped in tradition, through the stories no one finished telling you. You were not empty. You were overfull, with everything you were told to swallow and not spit out. And when the hunger spoke first, it didn't ask for permission. It carved its mouth into you and spoke through your actions, your choices, your obsessions. Do you remember when you first felt it? Not the surface ache, not just wanting, but need. The kind that kept you up, the kind that made you claw at your skin, the kind that rewrote your sense of time. The hunger that said, I'll leave you hollow unless you become something more. And so you did. You changed shape. You bled for it. You built altars of your own body. And even now, you're still feeding it. But maybe the question was never, how do I kill this hunger? Maybe the question is, what will I become if I make peace with it? If I sit down at the table, look it in the eye and ask, what do you need me to see? What haven't I faced yet? Who was silenced so I could survive? Sometimes hunger isn't a monster. Sometimes it's a messenger. And sometimes it is the shadow of the person you were always meant to be. So ask yourself, what part of you is starving because you keep trying to be palatable? What have you denied yourself just to keep the peace? Just to be understood or accepted or loved? And how much more of yourself do you plan to cut away just to fit inside someone else's idea of what you're supposed to be? We make ourselves small to be safe, but that safety becomes a coffin, and we call it stability. But the hunger knows. It remembers your original size, your wildness, your bite. And when the hunger answers back, it might not be gentle, but it will be true. And when it is, you won't need proof. No mirror, no witness, no God to bless it. You feel it in the way your skin fits tighter, like you've been sewn into yourself again. You'll see it in the way the world begins to part like a curtain and let you in, not as a guest, but as rightful heir. No more apologies, no more asking for space at the table. You are the altar now, and hunger is the prayer. So let them call you too much, too sensitive, too angry, too open, too far gone. They only say that when they sense power on the wind. Yours is coming. When the ache finally softens, when you look at yourself and don't flinch, you will know. The hunger that spoke first was not your ruin. It was your resurrection. So, go. Go ruin what you kept small. Go become what they feared you dared to be. You are the mouth of the storm now. The spell and the spark. The reason the night trembles. And you are finally, unforgivably full.